members of the media, listening and viewing audience. On behalf of the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to our press conference so that we can share information about our upcoming Just for Dads and Men Masterclass, which is starting on Saturday, November 1st and runs until Saturday, December 6th, which is every Saturday except November 15th from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. I am joined today by a number of the facilitators who will give you a very quick teaser with regards to the masterclass that they will be delivering. On my left, I am joined by Reverend Professor Courtney Richards, and then to my immediate right, I am joined by Dr. Nolan Nanton, and then to my far right, I am joined by Mr. Dimar Labega. But before I ask them to provide a brief summary of their masterclass, I just want to really urge the dads and men to make a special attempt to sign up and to attend the masterclasses. The first masterclass starts, as I said earlier, on Saturday, November 1st from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m., and it will take place at the University of St. Martin in room 206, right? The topic will be navigating manhood and masculinity in the 21st century, and of course you will get more information about that masterclass very shortly. So with that being said, I would now like to ask Reverend Professor Courtney Richards to again give a teaser with regards to the master classes he will be delivering.
The first master class is on November 1, as you just heard, which is Saturday coming. And we'll be dealing with navigating manhood and masculinity in the 21st century. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of conversation about what it means to be a man, what it means to be male even, what it means to be masculine. And so we want to give some clarity to that, because a lot of that, of course, is culturally prescribed and defined for us. And so when we're talking about manhood, we're talking about, of course, adult males in particular. We will be delving later on into issues with fatherhood. But we need to look at all of that and discuss, first of all, what is manhood and masculinity in St. Martin. So we'll be getting a discussion along that line, and then we'll broaden the discussion and the examination, the conversation around some various principles and practices historically of how a boy becomes a man in, like, say, South African culture. We'll look at that in the Xhosa tribe, and we also look at the medieval knights, for example, how they became a knight. So we'll look at those as well as some biblical perspectives and words for that. The following week, on the 8th, we will be looking at father wound. American author John Eldridge says, all of us are wounded, and most of us are wounded by our fathers. No, that's a very strong statement. But as a clinical psychologist myself, I think I could affirm that there's at least most of us, probably 90% of us, are significantly wounded, and most of the time is by our fathers. When you look at dropout rates in school, when you look at underperformance by boys, when you look at prison populations, the 15 to 25 age group, particularly commit most of the crimes. And when you interview those same boys and men in prisons and in incarceration, they don't have a good relationship with their father. So even if there's not a causation, there's a correlation. And so we want to look at that. What is the father wound? How is it manifested? What are the symptoms of it? And how do we help people heal from father wounds themselves so that they can resist and prevent the passing on of their symptoms, their anger, which is a huge thing in the Caribbean, and other related things to their children, and of course to their spouses, their wives, partners, what have you. So that's our first two sessions, the 1st and the 8th.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend Richards. And now I would like to ask Pastor Nolan Nanton to share with you a brief summary of his masterclass.
Well, thank you very much, Bakari. Again, it's always a pleasure to be here with you and in this great initiative, the Just for Dad masterclasses. Last year, I shared on co-parenting strategy, and if you recall, we spent at least about 2 to 3 hours after with the discussion, and so we thought it wise that we're going to come back and do part 2 of that. We are living in a society where the family is greatly disrupted in many ways, and sometimes we have persons who are engaged in relationship, and then those relationships end, and they might have children who are involved. How do we go about parenting those children? Sometimes the toxicity of the relationship dominate the parenting process and affect the child quite negatively. It leave the child sometimes confused as to where to go and who to be with, at what time to be with who. So sometimes children have birthdays and they say, wow, we don't want any birthday party this year. Not because they don't want it, but because they don't want to see the parents fighting or coming in the same space, which might result in them arguing or sometimes fighting. Some persons, they can't control their emotions because it is so strong because of the disappointment and the manner in which the relationship may end. Of course, we have those that have ended and quite cordially they are dealing with things in a mature way, but we have seen an escalation in the parenting process of persons who are separated and have to parent children, and the demise it really bring within it. So I'm going to be continuing that, sharing tips and hints as to how we go about making sure that we act maturely and we see the interest and benefit of the child in the process, and hopefully the thoughts and the recommendation that will be shared will be able to guide persons within that. I deal primarily with families, and I've seen a lot of families who were able to navigate themselves, having come to some of the things that are going to be shared. So it's co-parenting strategies, and we're looking forward to coming and sharing with you. And I know that if you're present, you're going to receive a serious blessing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nolan Nanton, for those remarks. And now I would like to ask Mr. Austin Lawrence to share with you brief remarks with regards to his masterclass on cultivating healthy romantic relationships.
Definitely, I'm definitely honored to be on this panel with such esteemed gentlemen and for this topic that's so important to our society. I'll be talking about cultivating healthy romantic relationships, and to do that, we're going to be going into what's a relationship, what are the important relationships we all as men hold on to. We're going to look at, do us as men actually get what we should be getting from these relationships we have? And then we're going to see if we are taking the best practices that we know about the relationships we have into our romantic relationships. Yes, that's what exactly I said. If we are taking the relationships we have already, taking the best parts of those and making sure that we have those aspects in our romantic relationship. It will be an eye-opener. Some of y'all are going to leave with some questions. Some of y'all may leave with some answers. But I definitely encourage you to go through all of these workshops, because my own will definitely pull from what's being said before. It's going to be important. I think it's important that we know what we are attached to, the healthy attachments we have moving forward. Because as men, we don't really think about our smooth happiness and joy. We don't think about that first. We think about giving that to other people. And so for that, in this, we're going to think about ourselves for a little bit and the people that are close to us. So I encourage you to definitely come out to register for all of the workshops. It's a total experience. You need to get a total experience. As a man, you don't want to miss out on one piece of this card. So definitely, it's not too late. Definitely show up. And I'll be honored to be able to be a facilitator along with these gentlemen on that day.
All right. Thank you so much, Austin. Thank you so much. And of course, I would now like to ask Mr. Dimar Labega to tell us about the sporting activity which will be taking place on Saturday, December 6th.
Hello, everyone. Dimar Labega here. Extremely privileged to be a part of this second annual event given by the department. We have a panel of great guests, so I myself look forward to taking part in all of their classes. I'm going to round off the end of it on December 6th, Mr. Monster Factory. I'll be giving the physical activity portion. Now, we're encouraging everyone to come out. A lot of times when you hear physical activity, you think, I haven't worked out in a long time. Am I going to be able to participate? But I assure you, it's not going to be anything strenuous. We're going to have lots of fun. We're going to be doing team building. We're going to be doing the competitive nature of working out, as well as bonding with other like-minded individuals. A lot of times when I do my sporting events, you see the majority of the female population. So we're encouraging all guys to come out. Let's round it off strong. Health is wealth. Let's lead our families. Let's lead our communities. Let's set the example, not only with the mindset training that we're going to get the first month, but let's also round it off with the physical activity and then continue that physical activity. Events like this are good to come out because now you get to mingle with like-minded people, you continue the journey, you hold yourself accountable. So we look forward to the whole community coming out and participating in not only my event, but all the events. So I'll see everybody then.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So just to round up, we definitely want to encourage the fathers and men, and even young men, whether you have a biological child or not. Once you are in the care of a minor, of a young person, we definitely urge you to attend in order to acquire not only the information, but also the life experiences of, in particular, the more mature men in the audience. Because one thing we've noticed from our first round was the exchange of life experiences, of strategies which were passed on to the younger generation, with the hope that they would make more informed decisions and navigate the challenges that life may offer, from a vantage point. We want to also encourage them to attend all of the sessions, of course, because persons that attend all of the sessions, or at least 80%, will receive a certificate of participation. Right? I think that's a great way of motivating persons in order to, remain committed and dedicated towards these particular master classes. And it's free of charge. These life-saving, transformative sessions are free of charge and open to dads and men, of course. So we definitely want to encourage everyone to come out and take advantage of this particular opportunity. So just to recap quickly, on Saturday, November 1st, the masterclass is entitled Navigating Masculinity and Manhood, and that will be delivered by none other than Reverend Courtney Richards. And then on Saturday, November 8th, Mr. Richards will be delivering a masterclass on father wounds. And I want to put an asterisk here because the first two sessions will be taking place at the University of St. Martin in room 206. However, the other sessions will be taking place at the Government Building, conference rooms 1 and 2, and the time remains the same. And then we have on November 22nd, there will be the masterclass on co-parenting strategies, which will be delivered by Reverend Dr. Nolan Nanton. And then the 29th of November, we will be looking at cultivating healthy romantic relationships by Mr. Alston Lawrence. And I must also insert that there will be a masterclass on the rights and responsibilities of fathers, and that will be delivered by Mr. Marciano Geert. Unfortunately, he is abroad. Well, not unfortunately, but he is abroad. That's why he could not be in attendance. And his session will also be on the 29th of November. And then last but certainly not the least, we have our much anticipated sports activity, which will be on Saturday, December 16th at the Melford Hazel Sports Complex. So the sessions are free, so we definitely urge fathers and men to take advantage of this opportunity, and we look forward to seeing you